In the heart of New Delhi, just blocks from million-dollar homes and luxury shopping malls, Geeta and her family of 6 share this one-bedroom house. She's a domestic worker making around $50 a month. She desperately needs access to the government's food aid program to feed her family, but she's unable to get it.
मैंने राशन कार्ड बनाने के लिए 3-4 साल चल रही है, ऑनलाइन कराया था, अभी तक नहीं बना। मैं अपने बच्चों को कैसे पाल लें वो ही जान रहे हैं।
Ration cards and other services here depend on up-to-date population numbers through the country's census to be distributed fairly. The problem is, those numbers don't exist. As India overtakes China as the world's most populous country, the fact is we don't actually know how many people live here. And that's leaving millions like Geeta in the lurch. Please hit that subscribe button to support the channel and see more videos like this. India is actually very good at counting its people. Every 10 years, like clockwork, government workers go door to door conducting one of the most ambitious censuses in the world, dating all the way back to 1881. They did it through the struggle for independence, during the 1971 India-Pakistan War, and in between skirmishes along the Chinese border. And then
pressure is mounting on India's government to
now
impose
India
a
is in the
national
midst
lockdown after
of
the
a
country
lockdown
recorded
in 2021,
the census was paused due to the 21-day lockdown.
for the first time ever, the census was postponed indefinitely. So why does this matter? Let's go back to Geeta for a second. In 2011, when the last census was conducted, Geeta hadn't applied to get the food subsidies given by the government under the National Food Security Act. Her husband was sick and she was consumed with his health issues.
तो इतना मुझे पता भी नहीं था इसके बारे में, क्या कैसे होता, कभी निकले नहीं, बैठे नहीं। अब मैं थोड़ा सबके पास तुम्हारे जैसे पूछता है, तुमसे पूछ रहे, तब मुझे पता चला ऐसे से ऐसे करो। तब मैंने अपना अप्लाई करा, राशन कार्ड बनवाया। मैंने बन जाएगा तो कुछ तो सारा मिलेगा मुझे।
But now in 2023, those subsidies are no longer available to her and to millions of others because they're distributed on the basis of census data, which is now 12 years old.
The number of people who can get ration cards is up to 75% in the rural areas and up to 50% in the urban areas, and that number has to be determined on the basis of the census figures. According to population estimates, there would be about 10 crore more people who would need ration cards if the census were to be done.
Combined with high unemployment and inflation, in a country still recovering from the pandemic, this has placed millions in a dire state.
35 रुपए किलो आटा, 1 किलो 2 किलो आटा लाते, उसी में गुजारा कर रहे। चावल इतना महंगा है, कैसे हम अपने बच्चे पालूं? अब रूखी रोटी कभी खा लेते, कभी सूखी खा लेते, ऐसे गुजारा में कर रहे हैं।
And it's not just food programs. Funds for schools, hospitals, roads, disaster relief are all based on outdated numbers. So why is this taking so long? Government officials have mostly blamed the pandemic for the delay. But other countries like the US, UK and China, who also postponed their censuses because of COVID-19, have now completed them. Some of the delay could just come down to the resources needed to hand count more than 1 billion people.
In 2011, we had 2.5 million government employees who were involved in the census work. Now, maybe 3 million. Now, take these people off their current work for a week is not easy.
We reached out to the Modi government for more clarification on this, including reasons for the long delay and a potential timeline, but they haven't responded. Government officials told Reuters in February that the census was delayed in part because they're digitizing the process, giving people an option to self-report online.
It's possible to do that in countries which have smaller population and or countries where there is very little internal migration. But in a country like India, that's very difficult to do. If somebody doesn't enroll, you won't even know about it.
There is a model for this, the Aadhaar. one of the most comprehensive digital ID systems in the world. It was introduced in 2009 and now has about 1.3 billion people enrolled, which is about 99% of India's population. It records things like date of birth, address, and even fingerprints, and some in the government say this massive database can make up for the lack of a census. But so far, that hasn't translated into ration cards for people like Geeta.
In the absence of the census, the government itself has put out population projections. So the Supreme Court has said that you can use these population projections and give ration cards. Unfortunately, the government is not willing to do that, and these families are staying without ration cards.
मैं कैसे बच्चे पालूं, कैसे गुजारा करूं? मेरे से भी काम होता नहीं। दो बेटी जवान मेरे सर पे बैठी हुई हैं। किसका सहारा तकूं? मेरा कोई कमाने वाला नहीं है।
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button to support the channel and watch more videos like it.